We've got the all-electric BMW sedan, the i4.
I'm just checking the memos, Andrea. I didn't get the memo that it was White Boot Day.
Spring has sprung on the West Coast.
Let's go for a ride.
Quiet, powerful.
It has this Jetsons kind of noise. I don't know why car companies have to have some artificial sound, but there you go. All right, what's under the floor of this i4?
We've got the eDrive 40, a rear-wheel drive model with 335 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. It has an 81 kilowatt-hour battery with 484 kilometers, 301 miles of EV range. It goes 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.5 seconds and 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.7 seconds.
There's the optional all-wheel drive model called the i4 M50 with a dual electric motor system, 536 horsepower and 586 pound-feet of torque, 434 kilometers of range, that's 270 miles. It goes 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.9. The BMW i4. Andrea, what are the key standard features?
The base trim comes with a 14.9-inch touchscreen with the iDrive 8 system, a 12.3-inch digital driver display, wireless Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto, comfort access keyless entry, a leatherette interior with sport seats, a moonroof, a power tailgate, 18-inch wheels, a tire repair kit, and active driving assistant including blind spot monitoring.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.
So when you have an electric car, there's a lot of similarities. The battery is down low, the center of gravity is low, they handle pretty well, they're relatively quiet, and then the car manufacturer gets in there and fiddles with all of that to make it their own. And how did BMW do?
Wow, this is quite an incredible machine. It handles so well. It's everything that you would expect from BMW. The steering is precise, but it's electric with this quiet cabin.
It reminds me of kind of BMWs of old. I know you're saying, come on, Zach, that's a bit of a stretch because it's electrified, but it's a rear-wheel drive car. So those of you who have driven rear-wheel drive BMWs will get in this and go, oh, I remember that sensation. It pushes you through the corners. It really is a lot of fun to drive.
The M50 comes standard with adaptive M suspension and variable sport steering. You can get it on this model. Our test model doesn't have it. It'll cost you $1,500 Canadian.
I think I would kind of go for that. They do a really good job with that setup, and the adaptive steering sometimes is a little bit over kind of done at low speeds,
right.
But it's not, if it comes as a package, I'll take that package.
It has the same drive modes as the gas model, Sport, Comfort, and Eco.
So BMW has the iX. That's their really kind of odd-looking SUV that we're going to get to drive in 2 weeks. And then they have this, which is really the conventional BMW sedan that everybody learned to love. And when you get behind the wheel, it feels, you feel at home. You feel like you're in a BMW.
Yeah, you know, even though it's electric and it is a smooth ride, you still feel those bumps in the road. It hugs the corners like a BMW would. It has those traditional traits of a BMW sedan.
The one negative, the only negative, is I find at lower speeds, like we're braking right now, at lower speeds, modulating the brake can be a little bit jerky. Hard braking, like Andrea is doing now, coming up to this corner, and she's putting the brakes on and going flying around, it does it no problem, but modulating at low speed, it could be better.
With the regen braking, you can turn it off or on. We prefer it off. It does not come to a complete stop. It does slow down the vehicle, obviously.
Now, Andrea, can you tell from 10 paces away that this is an electric version of the 4 Series?
No, not at all. I mean, the front grille, because it's kind of got that glossy look to it, I can tell that it isn't. But overall, this looks like a BMW. It looks like the 4 Series. It's got a long wheelbase, short overhangs, that flowing roof line.
Yeah, and that's what I mentioned earlier with the iX, which is so freaky looking, especially from the front. Well, this one's kind of freaky from the front too, but we're kind of getting used to the big buck tooth look of the new grille for BMW. Like everything, you get used to it after a while. But I would say this car was designed by BMW to appeal to people like me that want it to have regular stuff, like door handles.
Yeah. Oh man, door handles, what a treat. We've got the M Sport package on this trim, so we've got the M aerodynamics, the black accents, and 19-inch wheels. It does come standard with 18-inch wheels.
Are you getting used to the front grille? I am.
I think it looks better in person than in the pictures because you're looking at the vehicle overall, and it's just something, like you said, you need to get used to. Some people will never. I do see, the beaver teeth. That's the best way to describe it. It's okay.
Or, what's up, Doc?
Yeah. Or Miss Piggy.
Or Darth Vader.
The list goes on and on.
Your mother-in-law. Not my mother-in-law.
Oh my God.
I said your mother-in-law,
You're
not
not
my
allowed to
mother-in-law.
say that.
No, my mother-in-law. She's a beauty. Look at my wife. Of course she's beautiful.
Oh my God, you are in so much trouble now.
All right, let's turn our attention to the inside. You know what they have on this, Andrea? Like a regular steering wheel and stuff that actually works.
Well, one thing I'm a big fan of is this sport steering wheel. It's chunky. It feels great to the touch. It's
That's what you like
all
me.
the way through.
Chunky.
Enough with your chunkiness. You are not overweight. I also like the trim in here. It's more of an aluminum. Unfortunately, this comes standard with high gloss black trim, our favorite. But if you upgrade, you can get the different colored trims. In the US, you actually don't have to pay extra. So you can get aluminum and you can get wood, as well as the high gloss piano black.
So this car has the new singular screen with the new instrument cluster and the new iDrive 8 behind that one panel. And we're going to talk about that coming up in Questions, Coffee, and Cars. But other than the big new screen, it's very similar to what we've seen from BMW for decades.
Yeah, and I think that the screen is a showstopper in here. It's not something that we're used to seeing from BMW, and it is sitting perfectly behind the steering wheel. The visibility is great.
How's the comfort over there in the seats, Andrea?
Well, it's in typical BMW form. The seats are quite firm. We've been going in and out of the Mach-E GT Performance Edition, and those seats are incredibly comfortable.
Ford does good seats.
Yeah, and so when you get in this, you can just feel that they're quite firm. So definitely check it out before you buy it, that you like that sort of feel.
So the week of recording this, our federal government just came out with a new rebate program, and now this vehicle qualifies. Is the base model the best value trim, Andrea?
No, it's not the best value trim. You can get this rear-wheel drive model for under $55,000, so it does qualify for the federal rebate of $5,000. You can't go over $65,000 Canadian if you want to qualify for that rebate. The base model comes with manual front seats, so it doesn't have driver's seat memory, there's no power, it doesn't have a heated front seat or a heated steering wheel.
For 55 Gs?
Yeah, so if you want those features in Canada, you have to get the Premium Essential Package for $9,400.
It really should be in our key standard features, but I like the essentials. What do I get with the essentials?
Heated steering wheel, power front seats, driver's seat memory, front and rear parking sensors, and then folding exterior mirrors.
I like that. How much is that?
So that's $9,400.
Ooh, wait, I'm not that good at math. But if you take 55 and under 10, that gets you under the $65,000 threshold. See, in Canada, it has to be between 55 and 65. That works.
And you could even add a wireless charger for $350, and maybe the black accents is if you want. But you can't get that M Sport package that we have on this model with the bigger wheels, because then that puts you over the $65,000.
And then you don't get the $5,000 rebate. I'm all about people spending $70,000 on a car and using their own money, not my money, not your money, not the taxpayers' money.
Now, if you want the Harman Kardon sound system, you've got to move up to the enhanced package for 13,400 Canadian.
$13,000
yeah, you get a
package.
head-up display as well, a surround view monitor. So it's not like you don't get some extra features. In the US, you have mostly a la carte items in some packages. You've got a package for $950, which is a great deal to get you the heated steering wheel and the heated front seats, which you can add to your base trim. Now, this is a rear-wheel drive model. The all-wheel drive model does not qualify for the federal rebate in Canada. And keep in mind, in the US, you get a tax credit on either model of up to $7,500.
So the 3 Series and the 4 Series are still in the kind of compact class, and you notice that when you get into the back seat. There is a big hump in the center seat, and getting in, there's not a lot of leg room, there's not a lot of headroom, but I will say that the seat comfort in the back is pretty good.
Yeah, I think that the Model 3, if you're looking for more space and a more open cabin, that's the way to go. It also offers a flat floor, and the Model 3 offers about half an inch more second row leg room than this model.
So looking at this car, you'd think it has a trunk. No, it's got a liftgate. It's a Sportback. It's the Grand Coupe, and it's a very functional space. However, they have this package that's stuck at the back that has your cables. Couldn't they find a place to put it other than sticking it inside the cargo area?
Our carry-on and a cooler fit nicely back there. Actually has quite a bit of space, but the Model 3 still offers more, an extra 5 cubic feet or 179 liters.
All right, more about the interior and other questions. Let's get into it.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Is this a completely different car or an electrified 3 or 4 Series? If it is a completely new car, then has it captured the essence of a BMW, the ultimate driving machine?
I'll answer the second part first. This is the closest car, electric car, that I've driven to how a regular gasoline model drives.
Yes.
This drives like a BMW.
Yeah.
It looks like a BMW with the big teeth. It's got the familiar interior with the iDrive system, and then you drive it, plus this one's rear-wheel drive. It's just wonderful. It feels like the ultimate driving machine.
It does. The i4 is based on the 4 Series platform, but obviously it's been heavily modified. It's an electric vehicle, but you can definitely see similarities to the 4 Series. It has the same body style.
Yeah, so what they've kept is what BMW does, and that's the suspension that they know how to tune so beautifully. But you can't just take a gas car and plop a battery in it.
No.
So much modification has to go in.
Just don't get why automakers are all going to these big plastic grills and putting all the climate controls and other features into the infotainment system. Must be a huge cost savings on metal and knobs. Well, we prefer to have metal and knobs. This is not the case with this new iDrive 8 system. Everything is now in the screen. Manufacturers are moving towards a more modern and clean look. I wish that it had more. One thing it does have is the heated steering wheel button is on the heated steering wheel.
So I've been praising BMW over the last couple of years because they have different ways to interact with the system. You have the touch screen, you have the iDrive controller, and you had all those beautiful hot keys, which are now for the most part gone and embedded in the screen. And then I'll just come back to that in a second. Then you go to the outside, and the grille is plastic to look like a regular grille. They don't need the air to get through. There's no engine there to cool. And that's where all of the advanced safety features, the radar and the sonar, whatever they're using in this car, is embedded behind that grille. So one thing you got to remember, BMW and any car manufacturer is pumping out a car about 1 a minute, right? If you save money, Andrea, on a bunch of buttons and switches, and you multiply it by 1 car a minute, it adds up quickly.
We put out a lot of content each week on the Motormouth YouTube channel, and it's so easy to find.
All you do is go to the YouTube search bar and type in Motormouth, the name of the channel, then the brand you're looking for, in this case BMW, and all of our reviews pop up. It's that easy.
I just don't get the leatherette. For as much as they cost, it should be leather. BMW is moving to Sensitech on most of their models as a base trim leatherette option. And they have Vernasca leather and they have Napa leather as well, but it depends on which model you're getting. In this case, it comes with Sensitech. You can get Vernasca leather for $1,500 Canadian or $1,450 US.
Vernasca leather is barely better than the fake leather. Stick with the fake leather or go to the Napa leather. Unfortunately, if you get extra packages in this car, you're forced to take Vernasca leather. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah, if you want to get heated rear seats or ventilated front seats, you have to upgrade to the Vernasca leather. Our model is Sensitech, so we do not have those two features in here. And frankly, I'm not missing it, but we don't live in a hot climate to require ventilated front seats like some other people want it.
I think this looks better than Vernasca leather. And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
The grille is still a no for me, but overall a very cool ride. For those of us considering electric vehicles in the future, but are also concerned about range, especially in the winter and the Canadian charging infrastructure, what advice would you give?
So I think, Andrea, the simple answer to this is if you do not have a 240 volt level 2 charger to charge at home or at work, a full electric probably isn't for you. It might be a hybrid or a plug-in anyway.
Yeah, the infrastructure is just not there, and although it is improving, it will drive you absolutely mad if you don't have a level 2 charger. Zach will take our press vehicles to charge them up, as we don't have a level 2 charger. We don't own an EV, and sometimes he's gone for 2 hours because he either has to wait for the charger or just the speed isn't there. And I always ask when he comes back, what took you so long? And it's just wait time. You don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah, it's always when you pull up, you're like, ooh, is it going to be available? There might be somebody sitting there. And then you plug in, and the thing about the fast chargers, they're all different speeds, right? You get on one and it's got 50 kilowatt charging, that's it. Then you get another one and it says 150, but it never gets up to 150. And those super fast high chargers are really few and far between. Now there's more of them being implemented, and you know, some brands like General Motors is committing to building thousands of them throughout North America, including Canada. So right now, Andrea, what's the answer?
Get a level 2 charger installed at your home.
So we touched on charging. How quickly can this i4 charge? Let's get into it and more with our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. The eDrive 40 starts at just under $55,000 Canadian and just under $55,500 in the US. The M50 starts at just under $73,000 in Canada and just under $66,000 in the US. Price as tested, just under $72,000 Canadian. The i4 comes with an 11 kilowatt onboard charger. With a level 2 charger, the i4 can reach a full charge within 9.5 hours. With a 50 kilowatt DC fast charger, you can charge 100 kilometers in approximately 22 minutes, and with a 150 kilowatt DC fast charger, 100 kilometers in 7 minutes. It will take about 30 minutes to charge the i4 from 10 to 80% with a DC fast charger. In the US, BMW offers 2 years of complimentary 30-minute charging sessions at Electrify America. Unfortunately, there is no offering for Canada. BMW offers a 4-year warranty or 80,000 kilometers, 50,000 miles. There is a no-charge scheduled maintenance for 3 years in both Canada and the US for the i4. In Canada, it's unlimited kilometers, and in the US, 36,000 miles.
So in the premium space, if you want an electrified sedan, there's not that many to choose from, but here's some to consider.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Tesla Model 3 Long Range with 449 horsepower and up to 576 kilometers, 358 miles of range. It has a starting price of just under $72,000.
The Polestar 2 Long Range Dual Motor with 408 horsepower and 400 kilometers or 249 miles of EV range at a starting price of just under $57,000.
The Porsche Taycan 4S with 522 horsepower and 320 kilometers, 227 miles of EV range. It starts at just under $122,000.
The cousin to the Taycan, the Audi e-tron GT, with 469 horsepower, 383 kilometers or 238 miles of EV range, and a starting price of just under $131,000.
So there are 4 EVs for you to choose from.
Lightning round. Two things we like to see improved.
I really like the power that this offers and the way that it handles.
I like the fact BMW owners will get in this and go, I'm home.
What I'd like to see is wireless Android Auto.
Even this car with the top package, the steering wheel is still manually operated by me.
Although electric, this still has the fantastic driving dynamics of a BMW.
If you buy one of these in white, make sure they throw in the boots.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.